Glad to hear. I'm glad you're chilling with us. I appreciate every single person who has tuned in already. We get to do this because of you, basically. All right, I'll kill the links at the top of the screen for the first part of the match here. I'm going to find out which of those IGs is which. Yeah, I'll let ImperialAce know you like his Decimator. He's a pro painter around here. Yeah, actually, when the Houndstooth comes out, it's supposed to be on the shelf next week, actually. I'm going to have ImperialAce painted up in like an Optimus Prime style situation. Because I'm a big old classic Transformers nerd. But, yeah, and he actually, it's kind of hard to see because it's at the top of the screen up there, but his Dark Curse is actually painted up red, too. Maybe if he comes down closer. And they just shook it off, so I'm going to get my timer ready, and I'll give them the go-ahead for the first match. Oh, wait. I'm jumping the gun here. They haven't even set their dials. But, whenever you're ready, go for it. Interesting startups here. They both kind of started very spread out. And I think that's kind of interesting. Around here, like, formation flying is really popular, especially with lists that have more than 2 ships in them. Then again, the IGs tend to break up pretty quickly after the first exchange, just because the specifics of that ship in particular, but I just pointing at it's pretty cool that both players spread out pretty wide here. On the scum and villainy side over here with 2 Dubs, who's, by the way, he was our store champion here at FCB in 2015, way back in January. That was our very first broadcast ever. He has 4 ships with heavy laser cannons. Eaglet CE-111, these are 150-point lists. Let me see if I can get that on the top of the screen here. The rules are you could build to 150 points, but you cannot spend more than 100 points of the same ship type. Two Dubs being super janky. Bumped his other Seek around there. That's all right though. Looks like he might be on that asteroid. Oh, no, he took an action. He did not hit the asteroid, just very close. And that's going to be the shuttle's activation, I believe. Whoa. What's Chad doing? Moving Chad out of order, bro. Oh, the shuttle full stopped. Well, that's just me being dumb. All right. Put your tokens where I can see them. Just harping on ImperialAce, I could tell that the shuttle had performed a stop maneuver. Eagle Psi 111. I'm definitely looking forward to this match. Absolutely. Bounty Hunter banks forward and double focuses via recon specialist. The shuttle did a full stop. FRB Fly, I'm not physically that far away from the table, but I am behind a wall. If I need to find out something specific about the game, I actually have to stand up and go through a door to find them, and we do it this way because I can say whatever I want. I can predict strategies, I can comment, I might even joke around and make fun of the players here now and again, and it doesn't affect the game at all. And that's the way we do it. It's as ineffectual as it can possibly be. Like, liken it to a sports broadcast. I'm not going to say that I'm very good at it, but we do our best. IG-88C inches forward, measures for a target lock. Eagle Psi 111, Imperial Ace always likes comments on his painting. He is definitely the resident painting pro. IG-88C used his advanced sensors to... Wait. I might have the list wrong. Wasn't it? I see fire control system card there, though. So he boosted up and then took... I'm sorry. He went 2 straight and then boosted. FRB fly, that's exactly why we do it. Like, we can... It's not distracting, and we can say whatever we want about the game, and it doesn't affect the outcome of the game at all. Whereas, you know, if I'm talking about possible maneuvers, it might affect the dials that they set, or it might affect the choices they make, or they might wish that they had done something else, and it messes with their mindset. You know, it's just very hands-off. Okay, first attack from IG-88C on the Bounty Hunter. That is going to be a focus for 4 hits right out of the gate. Requires a target lock with fire control system. Evades 1. The Bounty Hunter takes 3 damage right off the top. 3 shields down. 1 shield, 6 hull, 1 shield remaining on the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter returning fire. Or maybe not. IG-88B measures to see if he has arc, or see if he has Dark Person range. Don't believe he does. Bounty Hunter returning fire. Focus for 3 hits. Ion Cannon. Okay. Letting me know that he is using the Ion Cannon against IG-88C. Means he doesn't get a 4th evade die. Two evades and an evade token. And we are back to dials. I'm going to call that those spacers are... They're either going to keep going straight and go after that shuttle, or they're going to bank in and the... with help from IG-88C, are going to blow away that Bounty Hunter pretty fast. The Decimator, maybe a bank up, or I wouldn't think he'd want a hard turn, but that's because he's so far down to the bottom. That's where I would keep him, just kind of skirt the edge for a little while. How's everybody doing tonight? I really appreciate everyone who's tuned in already. If you like what you see, give us a follow. When they get away from the top of the screen, I'll put our YouTube link up at the top of the screen there. We have all of our episodes archived on YouTube. I would just tell you the URL, but it's a lot of gobbledygook. We have to get more subscribers before they'll let us do a custom URL. Omicron Group Pilot takes a nice, easy 1 straight, and we'll focus up. And the Cartel Spacers are going to bank in and try to go after that Bounty Hunter. Measures for a target lock. And we'll acquire. I expect this one will follow suit. Yep, he will also do a 3 bank to right. Might be out of range for that target lock. This one, it's hard to say. Oh, he's got it. Chip 399. This is 150 points. And the bounty hunter will turn to the right up the screen there. Ugh. Doesn't have arc on those spacers. I doubt he's going to have arc on the IG-88C either. Depends on where IG-88B is going to go. But the bounty hunter might not have a shot this turn. And that sucks, because he's about to take a lot of broadside heavy laser cannons. Dark Curse takes a hard 3. Skirts around that debris field. And then it looks like he will take an evade action. Chip 399, if these matches don't go super late, I will pop on the table and play a 100-point match. But that will be after 2 150-point games. If you want to watch 100-point games, you go to YouTube, search for North Atlanta Game Company, and you can find all previous episodes archived there. And I'll put the URL up at the top of the screen here as soon as the ships kind of clear the top edge. I have a scrolling ticker. Yeah, Trader Armor. We have two matches at 150 points planned, and then after that, depending on the time, I might play a bonus match at 100 points. IG-88B will take a 1 bank. He still didn't flip his dial over there. I'm confused. I'm going to go check and see which upgrade he has. So little speed bump there. He built his list with advanced sensors, and he was just a couple of points over, so he flipped them to fire control system, and then has now realized that he was playing as though he had fire control system, or had advanced sensors, and does not. So little list building issue there. He 1 turns on top of that debris field. Will not take a damage, but that's a almost certainly not where he expected that to go. Eagle Psi, we have not done that yet. We that will probably be when we come back after Dragon Con. We're actually going to take a few weeks off because Dragon Con's coming up in like 2 weeks away. Bounty Hunter onto IG-88B, 3 hits. Two evades and an evade token. Commander Kenkirk, that was some firing out of order, I guess. Looks like it's going to be range 1. Focus for 4 hits onto IG-88C. This shot is obstructed. 2 evades and 2 damage on IG-88C. Commander Kenkirk, or I'm sorry, IG-88C will return fire. Maybe I don't know what happened before. I don't know. You'll acquire target lock. Looks like 3 shields off of Decimator. Cartel Spacer shooting at Bounty Hunter, who will focus. Oh, it was Dark Curse who fired before. That's why I'm super confused. Who will focus and evade both damage. And now the Bounty Hunter will fire. I apologize for that confusion. It was Dark Curse who fired before. Taking a long time to roll those dice, Imperial Ace. You gonna blow on them? And that is 2 hits with an ion cannon. And 2 evades from IG88B. Yeah, there's our links up there. You can see of all of our social media, YouTube channel, etc. KLF squared, I do not know, but I will certainly ask him. The Omicron group pilot is going to take a shot at IG88B. Range 2 will focus for 2 evades. I mean, for 2 hits, excuse me. And 3 evades. IG88B is not having it. And Spacer 2 will end the round. Wait. I messed it up before. Okay. Spacer 2 will target lock for 3 hits. Looks like 1 evade and 3 more damage off the Bounty Hunter. Down to 4 hull. And his buddy will fire. We'll spin the target lock. Reroll 2 dice. Looks like 2 and a crit. 3 more damage on the Bounty Hunter. I think that was a crit. It is. And the Bounty Hunter is reduced to 1 hull remaining. And that is structural damage. Dial's going down. That decimator is just gonna go ahead and split those obstacles. IG88C is gonna take a couple of turns to turn around. We're definitely not gonna see a. You can 1 bank and then 1 bank around again. Maybe get that shuttle in arc. I'm sorry, 1 bank and then boost around again. But that's only if he's not gonna hit that debris field again. I think he is. So. You might just GTFO. The Spacers are going to want to go as slow as possible. IG88B, maybe move ahead, block Dark Curse. The Spacers I'm betting, are going to be the ones that clean up that Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter will advance sensors for a focus and complete a full stop. And we have a 1 turn from the Spacers. From, well, at least the 1 Spacer. And they one bank from the other. Eagle side 111. I absolutely see that happening right now. He's going to drop that seismic charge while he still has a chance and hope to do a damage on IG-88C. Decimator checks out IG-88C's dial with advanced sensors. Yep, there goes that seismic charge. Spacer 1 expertly placed to block the Bounty Hunter, which means Spacer 2 is going to get a nice range 1. It's actually less dice than he would otherwise get with his heavy laser cannon. But that's okay. I think 3 dice can do it right now. And now Dark Curse activates. Takes a 3 turn, determining if he bumps, and he does. Oh, and the Decimator actually moves faster than I expected, taking a 3 bank around that debris field. He's going to run into IG-88C. Does that place him on the debris field? Hard to tell. Using the new correct rules for determining the final position of your ship by using 2 templates. And IG-88C will make a 3 bank, which is green, so he'll clear a stress, but he will also... his template will also cross that debris field yet again, so he'll still be stressed. Clear a stress, gain a stress. No crit from the debris field. And another 3 bank from IG-88B, who will clear the back of that fire spray. Ugh. That's actually... that's not where I would want to be. I'm seeing a boost action coming up right now. And I was right. Still, I think he's still going to be in range of that seismic charge, but he's not going to be range 1 of the back of a fire spray. Or right in front of the Lambda shuttle. Determining range to that cartel spacer. I believe they decided just the IG-88s take a damage. Commander Kinkirk will activate first. Scum has initiative here, but the IG-88 brothers do not have arc. So we're going to go Commander Kinkirk onto space number 2, range 2. This one has a stealth device, I believe. 3 hits. Will focus for 4 Vades and will remain untouched. He really wanted that focus for his primary weapon attack, but being alive is better. Now Dark Curse is going to shoot at spacer number 1. Range 1, that is 2 hits. And 3 evades yet again. 2 dubs, green dice are on fire. Bounty Hunter will take a range 2 against Oh, it looks like IG-88C. Hit a crit. One evade. One shield will chip off of IG-88C, and he is out of shield. Oh, maybe the Empire does have initiative here. Omicron will shoot Spacer number 2 for 3 hits after focus. Lots of dice for range 3 and stealth device. So 1 damage will chip off of Spacer number 2 and will deactivate a stealth device. And that is going to be Dials for the next round. Who has initiative? Yeah. That is confirmation the Empire does, in fact, have initiative. I was wrong before. Oh, we're replacing the... Wait, what? The Spacer gets to fire. I might not have been correct on its damage count. That's 3 hits against the fire spray, who is now destroyed. And I'm going to find out what happened to Spacer 1. I'm going to guess that my damage was not accurate on the screen, which is making me seem really not very good at what I do here. Spacer 1, 4 hits against the Omicron with heavy laser cannon. No evades. The Omicron goes down to 1 shield. 5 hull, 1 shield remaining. Yeah, I thought I don't. Direct hit. So what happened to the Cartel Spacer was he took 1 shield, Darth Vader triggered, and then he pulled a direct hit, and that is why that Spacer died. And that means I'm going to update the hull status on the Omicron. That puts it at 4 hull remaining. That is one thing, no matter how many times I do this show, I can never pick up on is when people activate the Darth Vader crew card. There is our ridiculously long YouTube address. Right at the top of the screen. Wajazazati Seekin the 887 WBG. Omicron Group Pilot takes a nice leisurely one bank, clearing the stress from its full stop in the previous round. I see a one turn from the spacer happen. And by that I mean a 3K, obviously. Why would he have done anything but a 3K? Trader Armor, you're right. It is North Atlanta Games, not North Atlantic. But we don't have enough followers right now to do a custom URL. So if you subscribe, you're helping us out, and we get a URL that's a lot easier to remember. Dark Curse also performs a K-turn at speed 3. IG-88B takes a 3 bank. I'm sorry, a speed 3 Senor's loop. IG-88C is unfortunately double stressed, so not going to be able to turn around. Takes a 1 bank. Gets out of arc of that Omicron, but Commander Kinkirk can certainly still shoot him. Commander Kinkirk on IG-88C. Deciding if he wants to spin the focus, and he does, for 3 hits. Looks like a focus and 2 blanks, I believe. 1, 2, and a crit. Based on that face, I think that was a direct hit. IG-88C might be toast. Two direct hits in a row. That's rough, as far as crits go. That's exactly what happened. IG-88B will take a range 3 heavy laser cannon onto the Omicron Group pilot. And 3 hits. 3 damage go through. That puts Omicron down to 1 hull remaining. And Spacer 1. 2 hits against Dark Curse. And 2 damage. And his stealth device is now deactivated. That is going to be Diaz, I believe. IG-88 is just going to bank in. The shuttle... I would say the shuttle... Actually, I don't know what the shuttle's going to do. He's going to have a hard time staying out of the way of the decimator. Dials going down. Looks like they're both almost ready. Omicron group pilot will, he's going to take a two-turn, try to snag a shot onto IG-88B. I would guess that IG-88, if he didn't get blocked just now, he's just going to boost away. One bank from Spacer 1 moves to block Dark Curse. No, Eagle's Eye. I just write deactivated under stealth device. I don't have a way to like strike it through or darken the text or anything like that. So just to so I write I just put the deactivated text underneath it. I'll generally do the same thing if I'll write like ordnance used or something like that if people use spin torpedoes or missiles. Dark Curse takes a 2 bank, avoiding Spacer 1, and then will barrel roll to his right. One bank from IG-88B did not get blocked, I don't believe. Nope. So he may be able to bank to his right, or to boost to his right. It is in fact legal to boost across other ships as long as your final placement does not land on those other ships. He instead chooses to focus and evade via push the limit. Probably guessing he wasn't going to fit because Commander Ken Kirk is there, and he's there also. Also, a fair chance he can blow away that shuttle. Commander Ken Kirk will range 2 onto IG-88B. Looks like one hit. You can evade that. Got it. Yep, out of arc. And he has an evade token. Out of arc, auto thrusters kicks in, and evades automatically. I was completely wrong. That was Dark Curse attacking before. Now it's Commander Ken Kirk. Looks like it's going to be range 2. Yup, just out of range 1. It's going to be range 2. He will focus for 3 hits. Auto conversion from auto thrusters, and then we'll focus for 3 evades. IG-88B is up. I believe he has a target lock on the Omicron group pilot. And if he can destroy it, that means he won't take fire again. So that would be my choice of target. Or he's going to shoot at Darkhurst. Darkhurst or Kankirk. We'll find out. I'm sorry, I didn't see how many dice he... I didn't see. So it's going to depend on how many dice he rolled. But he would have destroyed the Omicron group pilot. 2 damage and 2 evades. Fire control system kicks in, as does IG-88B's card ability, allowing him to shoot again with a heavy laser cannon, with a cannon weapon. And both shots are evaded. Two hits from the Omicron group pilot onto IG-88B, who will roll 1 evade and spend an evade token. And who will then use Darth Vader and die, but will remove the remove a shield token from IG-88B. Interesting decision there. But Chad's a pro. He's ImperialAce93. He knows what he's doing. What 2 Dubs needs to do right now is make sure that both of those heavy laser cannons are pointing at Commander Kankirk. If he doesn't put some damage on the decimator, this game might take a while, and it's not going to be good for him. Commander Kankirk used Intelligence Agent to see Spacer 1's dial. Spacer 1 will then take a 5K turn. Trying to keep guns on Commander Kankirk. Takes a 1 straight. Trader Armor says, I think it was a good choice to use Vader there. Probably going to be more difficult to get shots on IG-88 in future turns. Definitely not a bad observation there. I'd agree with that, especially on the shuttle. Darkhurst will perform his maneuver and then barrel roll out of arc of Spacer 1. And to block IG-88B. Who performs a green maneuver, but will run into Darkhurst. That will mean that IG-88B has a heavy laser cannon shot on Commander Kankirk. Kankirk and Darkhurst will fire first. Kankirk has IG-88 at range 2 and Spacer number 1 at range 3. Darkhurst has Spacer 1 at range 2. Dark Earth will shoot first onto Spacer 1. Who will take a shield damage. Commander Kenkirk, 2 hits against Spacer 1. I'm sorry, against IG-88, who triple evades off the bat. IG-88 checking arc onto Kenkirk. They do confirm he takes a stress with Rebel Captive and will look like a bunch of focus, but he will get a second attack with heavy laser cannon because of IG-88B's ability, and will acquire a target lock with fire control system. We'll spin that target lock and acquire another one. Two hits. And that is the first hull damage onto Commander Kenkirk. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. I know what you're talking about in the chat, and I can't comment on that until the announcement is official. September 4th is the expected release date / announcement day, etc. And you're talking about the thing, and I'm very excited to talk about the thing, but I can't talk about the thing on the show. Just out of respect for Fantasy Flight. They make an awesome game, which is why we get to do this. And I want them to continue to make this awesome game. The first show after that happens, we will be all over it on the show. Spacer 1 takes a 2 straight and then we'll barrel roll. Dark Earth will take a 1 turn. I were hit. Oh, he focused there. I would have barrel rolled, tried to block IG-88 again. But maybe that's why I'm not the Imperial Ace. Commander Kenkirk takes a 2 turn around the outside of that free field. IG-88B takes a 1 straight. Doesn't... Oh, it's hard to say. I think he got blocked again. Yeah, he definitely got blocked again. That hurts. Not sure he has Kenkirk and Arc anymore. And he can't shoot at Dark Curse because he's touching him. Dark Curse will take a range 2 at spacer number 1. 1 hit. 1 of 8. Commander Kinkirk measuring Dark Curse. Looks like range 3. Also range 3 to Spacer 1, and that's obstructed. Gonna shoot at IG-88. Looks like 3 hits natural. The only evade he got was an auto thrusters conversion. Ouchie. That means 2 shield come off of IG-88. And IG-88 does not have arc on Kinkirk. The Spacer, I believe, doesn't either. So that is going to be Dials. KLF squared, you're curious if what exactly is airbrush or stencil? I know if you're talking about the board, the playboard that you're seeing was painted by hand. Oh, Spacer 1 takes a K turn. Didn't see that coming. The board you're seeing is painted by hand, and then the red stuff was spray painted and then just kind of flecked for the stars. Yeah, I would have kept the Spacer pointing at Commander Kinkirk, but that's just me. Maybe he wants to get Dark Curse off the board so he stops being annoying. The Imperial logo on Dark Curse and that Decimator is painted 100% by hand by Imperial Ace. He's kind of awesome at basically everything he does, aka painting. And Dark Curse will barrel roll out of arc of Spacer 1 and move to block IG-88 yet again. And the IG takes a 2 bank, which would, for the 3rd turn in a row, set him right on top of Dark Curse. Dark Curse does not have arc on Spacer 1, unfortunately. So, Commander Kinkirk will shoot at Spacer 1, range 2. Contemplating spending a focus, I believe. And he will do it. Focus for 3 hits against Spacer 1. 3 evades or Spacer 1 is toast. And Spacer 1 is toast. IG-88B, heavy laser cannon at Commander Kinkirk. Spins his target lock, which we will reacquire. That's 4 hits on Kinkirk. He will spend 1 evade and take 3 damage. And that will be Dials again. Here, I'll take the links down again so we can see the Decimator up there. And Dark Curse will take another hard turn. Trying really hard to block IG-88. Maybe the IG did something else to get away from that repetitious blockage there. And again, maybe he didn't. Who knows? If he hit him again, that's going to put him at range 1 of the Decimator, which means IG-88B's ability cannot kick in. Then again, he'll probably hit the Decimator after rolling 4 dice. Commander Kinkirk measuring range to IG-88B. I believe it's range 1. It's hard to tell, though. Maybe not. Actually, I don't think it is, now that I've seen the temp down. Barely out. Kinkirk onto IG-88. It is range 1. 4 dice. Focus for 4 hits. I think I see a crit in there. He is within arc, so no auto thrusters. It's going to be 1 evade. 3 hits go on to IG-88, one of which I believe is a critical. One hull remaining on IG-88. I will find out in just a moment what that critical hit is. That is a weapons malfunction. Reduce primary weapon by 1. Luckily, that shouldn't bother IG-88 too much, except for this one attack, because it's range 1. He cannot use his heavy laser. Stress from Rebel Captive. 3 hits. Natural evade and an evade token from his Zane. 1 damage goes through on Kinkirk. I'm thinking, based on this situation, it might be hard for Dark Curse to block again. If he unless this is what happens, he goes 2 straight, and then IG-88B takes a 1 or 2 bank left. Only because if he takes a 1 turn south to down to his left there toward the bottom, he will he won't be able to barrel over to the right. I mean, he won't be able to barrel roll to his left, to the right of the screen. 2 bang. Oh, now that I see that, I was totally wrong. That could definitely block. Oh, and then the Decimator will follow suit and create a wall of ships. So if IG-88B went to the right, he could clear. I'm not sure he did, but nope. He's going to bump the Decimator this time. He's going to take a range 1 on Dark Curse. But still not going to get into action, and his weapon is reduced. Going to be 3 unmodified dice against Dark Curse from IG-88B, the only attack this turn. Dark Curse has an evade token. 3 natural hits. No evades. That was a focus token. I was mistaken. So, oh no, it was an evade token. It's just that Dark Curse, having been damaged already, could not defend there. Yeah, he keeps getting cursed, or getting stressed from Rebel Captive. So every round in which he shoots the Decimator, a K turn is not possible. So, IG-88 has a chance, but this is what has to happen. He has to not be blocked. He's going to turn... Commander Kenkirk has to go forward. He doesn't have a K-turn. So if IG-88 turns behind him, then he will be able to focus and evade every turn. And with auto thrusters from being out of arc, that will that might carry him to the end. Actually, no, that doesn't work because he has Rebel Captive. So if he pushes the limit and then attacks the Decimator, that doesn't work. So what he's going to have to do is take evade tokens or focus and hope for the best and use only target locks on his attacks. Commander Kenkirk looks at IG-88's dial. He's going to take a 4 straight. So that will that'll lend IG-88 a little bit of room. So if he were to take a 1 turn right now, he won't bump anything. Yep, there's that 1 turn. So he's going to need to focus up every round and use that solely on defense. He took an evade. I guess it's hard to say if the math is better for the evade. Or maybe he switched it out for focus. Probably Chad let him take focus instead. He will take a stress here. It's going to be range 1 on Kenkirk. Spins a target lock. 3 hits. Oh, I don't think you should have spun the focus, buddy. 2 damage canceled. 1 damage goes through on Kenkirk. That wasn't worth it. He should have saved that focus for defense. In my opinion, at least. It was a critical. Injured pilot. Kenkirk no longer gets evade tokens, nor can he reroll dice with Predator. So that's a big deal for IG-88B. He's got the target lock. He should have just re-rolled the blank and the eyeball. But I will see how it goes. I also like the players go back and watch this, and I don't like to badmouth them too much about the things that because they are things that they may or may not should have done, because both of these guys are much better players than me. It's Kashmir. Like, he definitely needs to get damage through, but he can't put any more damage through if he dies. So his defense is priority one in this situation, at least in my opinion. He could also, he doesn't want to be range 1 anymore. I think he still is. Yep. His Zane still does trigger, but he no longer gets defense dice, Kankirk. Nor can he reroll with Predator. We'll focus for 3 hits. Two natural evades and an auto thruster's conversion. And he will return fire range 1. His primary weapon is still reduced. Target lock. 3 hits. Spins an evade, takes 2 damage. Also, keep in mind, these ships are still important thing to note here. These ships are both the same pilot skill, and what that means is, if they both die in the same turn, the result of the game is a draw. Because even if IG-88B is destroyed by Commander Kankirk, he is still allowed to return fire, and then if he in turn destroys Commander Kankirk, that would result in the first ever draw that we've had here on the show. IG-88B performs a boost to maintain arc on Commander Kankirk. Now range 1. Ouch, it does. It's hard to say if he has arc or not. Commander Kankirk taking a range 1 shot. Ooh, that's 4 hits. He can't survive this. It looks like IG-88 is technically out. If he were to, by some miracle, deal 5 damage, which is possible if he rolls 2 direct hits, it could be a draw. Heavy laser cannon works again. 4 hits on the decimator. 1 damage. I mean, or cancels 1 damage with an evade token. Rolls another damage. And that's game. I'll give the guys a minute to clean up, and then we will have them in here. We'll have a nice interview there, or we'll get you guys talking to the player. If anybody has a viewer question they'd like to field to the players, feel free to throw it up there. Here, hey. Here, you sit. What's up, Wilson? We're playing a 150-point tournament coming up pretty soon. So just talk about before we start, talk about your list and things that anything you might have done differently because with the bigger points or what have you, things you probably, I don't know, maybe wouldn't do in 100 points or something like that.
Yeah. I think the big thing that threw me off is I came in thinking I was going to have advanced sensors on my robots, and really I started playing that way too, and it took some adjustment to sort of rethink that, because push limit at that point is not really working well for me. My original thought was to come with 4 cartels, heavy laser, and 1 robot, and then I changed it at work and came in with 2 robots and the 2 cartels. I think if I fly it a little bit longer with this configuration, it'll be a little bit better. It's something I've ever done it. It's really fun trying to build a list with 150 with limitation that you can only take 100 points of 1 ship type, because your instinct is just to go all in on 3 robots or something. But it's interesting. I was down to 2 hull left, so I got it close, even though I screwed up.
You if I was playing against you, in general I like swarmy lists, so I probably would have brought more ships to the table than you, but even so, you had 4 heavy laser cannons, and that's scary. It's like you snipe my Y-wings off before they ever fire, and that's usually with in the 2-ship meta, that's usually not a risk. It's like this 2 things can shoot at me, and then it might do some damage, but I still get my 4 shots in return. But just 4 heavy laser cannons. It's scary.
Yeah, that was the idea. Is I expect to see some swarmy lists, and most of the swarms will fall pretty quickly under heavy laser cannon fire, which is why I was thinking of bringing 5. Because even though the cartels are really fragile, they can dance around fairly well, and if I can stay out of arcs, okay, that's still could be 5 heavy laser shots back. Unfortunately, they suck at range 1. They're like a weird ship where they
get less dice at range 1, unlike every other ship that exists.
Yeah, it's really weird. You literally do not want to be range 1 with them because their prowess just falls off.
Maybe that's what it's. I think maybe like the M3A costs a point too much, but it's also like with heavy laser cannons, you often want to go really slow, and they don't have a 1 straight. Yeah. So then you inevitably find yourself at range 1, and you're like, well, back there I was rolling 4 dice. So is there, I don't know, viewers correct me if I'm wrong, but there's not another ship in the game that rolls 4 dice at range 2 and 3 dice at range 1 unless you're taking like torpedoes, and nobody takes torpedoes. So correct me if I'm wrong in that regard. Rolls 3 dice at range 1, but 4 dice at range 2, ignoring torpedoes because they're bad. Torpedoes are missiles. That doesn't exist anywhere else, does it?
Like Dash, with the heavy Outrider, heavy laser.
Well, yeah, he just doesn't shoot at range 1.
I mean, yeah.
So if
the TLTs will also get into that, right?
Chad has played a 100-point version of this list against me before. 3 large bases, 3 different large bases. That's a lot of hit points, but it's interesting tactically because like they're the approaches to playing each of them don't necessarily go together. So what are you thinking when you see that on the other side?
Well, my original thought was I was going to go after the Decimator, and then when he was reading off the list, I was like, if he's got Rebel Captive on it, and I still should have gone with that and just rushed the Decimator, because theoretically I can take it, well, not in his build, he's got the hull upgrade, but theoretically 4 heavy laser cannons can take it off in 1 turn, right, before he gets to power anything. And so that I probably should have stuck with that and just rushed the Decimator and then figured out who was a good target after that and what I had left over. Because I would definitely, in a rush like that, I would definitely lose something.
You did. You got the fire spray pretty fast, and that it certainly helped you like midway there.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, he assisted me in taking out the fire spray by turning right in front of me. And I think he was trying to be a little tricksy there. But I had so many rich.
I'm gonna turn right in front of all the guns. They'll never see it coming.
Right. I mean, there were so many targets there. It almost didn't matter which way I turned. So I sort of was lucky in that regard. But I also spread my fire a little bit.
We have a semi-related viewer question from KLF Squared. Where do you get your target lock tokens? You the little tiny ones.
I got the tiny little ones from Applied Perspectives.
Cool. How much do they cost? I want some.
I think they're like $5 for this the set that I got.
That's awesome. So you're getting short in ships along the way, and you got like midway in the game there were a moment where both IGs were pointing the wrong way. But the next several rounds, I've played against Chad a lot. Chad's favorite pilot is Dark Curse because he's really annoying in the end of the game, and Chad's really good at blocking you all the time. Like, what are you thinking at the end of the game? You're like, it's like 2-on-2, but your IG88 moves this much every time because Dark Curse is always in the way. What's going on in your head?
I was both really excited about it and also really frustrated by it. The part that made me excited is that it meant that I was always getting auto thrusters and that I was getting an extra die for my IG because of the way that he was situated. So it also meant that I wasn't taking out Dark Curse and he was flying around with one hull left, and it was infuriating.
The next time you got to attack him, you got him. It evade my 4 dice, bro.
Yeah, I mean it was hard because I really wanted to just take him out so that I could focus on the Decimator with 2 ships because I knew it was going to be a really hard uphill battle. I was left with an IG against basically a full health Decimator at that point.
I had a question. The Decimator's getting up to the top of the screen. IG is getting blocked down below, and you K-turned the cartel. Was that were you trying to get a shot on Dark Curse there, or were you because myself and some of the viewers were curious? You could have kept shooting the Decimator, or you can about face and shoot him. So what was your idea at that point?
I thought it was that Dark Curse was going to continue to block me, and so I thought that this would be an opportunity to K-turn. I wanted to do it the turn before, but I hesitated. So my thought was K-turn in, he's going to block me, and then I'll be able to get a shot on him, probably without him getting return fire. But he just didn't work out that well.
Any closing thoughts before we move on and I go talk to Imperial Ace?
It was a fun match.
It was a lot of fun to watch, and it's interesting. There weren't that many ships. It was like, and Lambot was just in here talking about the things he's going to fly, and he's going to swap out in our next game, and it's like I'm going to have to. It's going to be one of those matches where I got to keep track of a lot of things, a lot of swarm kind of things.
I think most people are going to be playing lots of ships.
That's what I mean. If I did this, I would play my 4 Y-wings and then maybe throw in a fire spray or something. But yeah, as always, thanks for coming on the show. Yeah, where you at? All right, we got ImperialAce93 here. First of all, Chad, as always, they love to talk about your pretty ships because they're pretty.
Thank you. I haven't actually painted the other one, but I've actually gotten inspired to do the fire spray pretty soon. So
what's that gonna look like?
It's gonna be red, black, and white.
And it's gonna like it'll be different, but it'll still be like related. I like it. So you got 4 heavy laser cannons over there. What are you thinking at the start? Like, you got a lot of hull, you don't have a lot of evade. So what are you thinking at the start of the match? You both kind of spread out a lot. Was there Was there a reason for that?
So I started I kind of angled some guys at first, kind of figuring out where he was gonna go. I didn't know where he would set up with the 2 bots, and I figured they would try to flank around. But then he ended up pushing them to the center, which I thought was better for me, because then I was able to, get Vader on him. I flew the fire spray in the middle. It's kind of a risk, which turned out okay because I ended up dropping the bomb. I have intelligence agent on the big guy on the decimator. I don't know how I feel about that, but I think it worked out with the 2 being there. At the end, it didn't really do anything. It was just kind of because I can. I don't know so much, but I think at the 150 point level, the 3 ship big ship list works out much better than at the 100 level. You got a lot of points to spend on upgrades. You can play around with stuff. I think basically I took all the upgrades that I would take on my normal decimator, and then I took stuff that I would want on the fire spray, and then the lambda was kind of okay. Well, what can I do with this to make it better? And then hey, I have 19 points. Let's just throw in Dark Curse and have some fun. So that was it. Yeah.
Chad is very annoying with Dark Curse, as you saw. He likes to block everything all the time, especially in the late game.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised that that I did that much blocking with him, and I think the big kicker there was going to be Rebel Captive, and Dark Curse is the combo. So if he's going to shoot at me, he's going to be stressed, and then not having, he had pushed the limit, but he didn't really use it as much as I thought he would, and so I think he was just kind of playing it safe there at the end, which is fine. Or maybe he just forgot about it. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I think putting Rebel Captive on that guy is good. I take King Kirk because in this list especially, I like to have something that can still evade. Everything else in the list can evade. So having one guy that he could easily just pick on, I don't think is a good idea. Any other questions from people? I'll be more than willing to answer.
Any viewer questions before we wrap up? Any trying to think if I got any closing thoughts. Things you won, but you might have done differently, or if you see a similar list at the tournament, what are you thinking?
So I took an ion cannon on the fire spray. I don't know if I take that again. It didn't really do a whole lot. I might try to find a.
How many points is your list?
It's 150 exactly.
150 even.
Yeah. So I might try to find some points for that. That was the only thing that I think really didn't do a whole lot. It did take away his range 3 bonus for shots, but other than that, I don't think it. So that would be like 3 points I try to find elsewhere, and yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably it. Otherwise, I really enjoyed that. I think it was fun.
It was a lot of fun to watch. But as usual, thanks for coming on the show. You give us 10-ish minutes. Guys, go grab a drink, hit the restroom. We'll get another game here momentarily.